Hello, I'm Katie Facilius, and I'm new to the Jefferson community. I'm a registered dietitian and the director of the Masters in Nutrition and Dietetic Practice program that's scheduled to launch in fall of 2021 in the College of Health Professions. And it's a program that will prepare students for professional practice as registered dietitian nutritionists themselves. I was asked to put together a video on healthy holiday eating. And because evidence shows us that healthy eating grows out of intuitive eating, that is going to be the focus of my video. I want to first take a moment to acknowledge that the holiday season of 2020 is likely to look different than any we have experienced in our lifetimes. That doesn't mean, though, that we can't still connect this holiday season to the wonderful and rich traditions that mean the most to us and make the holiday season so special. So this year, whether you're celebrating on your own, with members of your household who you may have been seeing fairly exclusively since this past spring, or if you're widening your circle a little bit, either through virtual gatherings or an in-person celebration that follows public health guidelines, I hope that you will find this video useful in planning a celebration that honors traditions and also promotes joy in your holiday celebration. Food is often central to holiday traditions and celebrations, and we can honor our culture, whether that comes out of faith, family, or other communities, by leaning into those traditions and preparing, to the extent that we can, traditional foods this holiday season in 2020. In fact, the preparation of those traditional foods can be part of the celebration itself and make the holiday season richer. So I hope that you will consider incorporating those traditional meals and menu items, even if the rest of your holiday season doesn't look quite the same as what you're used to. Something else that I'm going to encourage as probably my number one healthy holiday tip is to give yourself unconditional permission to eat, with no restrictions, with no exceptions. When we restrict ourselves in our eating, we start a cycle of guilt and stress that tends only to lead to further unhealthy choices. So I encourage you to let go of the internal soundtrack that tells you I should eat this and I shouldn't eat that, and enjoy the foods at your holiday celebration. So the emphasis here is on giving yourself grace, not adding stress to the menu for your holidays, but instead thinking about how to incorporate choices that truly promote health, both physical and emotional, and not focus on weight or appearance, but the nourishment that food can provide. One way to do that is to think about menu items that fit in with your traditions and also incorporate ingredients that are rich in nutrients and naturally occurring colors, such as fruits and vegetables, whether they come from fresh, frozen, or canned sources. Another strategy is to think about incorporating lean protein and whole grain choices that, again, round out a healthy meal, and that can be laid out alongside of foods that are there purely for the sake of pleasure. Remember, the joy that you get, the comfort that you get from eating your healthy holiday meals will promote psychological and emotional well-being. The next vital tip I'm going to share is to pay attention to your body cues during the holiday season. When your body is telling you it's hungry, that there's a food available that it is craving, listen. While you're eating, take your time. Allow yourself to really savor your food. Pay attention to the aromas, the textures, and of course the flavors, so you can get the full joy out of that meal. And it will lead you to slow down and appreciate what you're eating rather than racing through the meal and not really getting to enjoy it and therefore also often eating more than your body really wants or feels comfortable with. And this tip applies not only at the time of the main event, but throughout the day of a celebration. Rather than trying to skip meals or cut down on what you eat prior to the holiday meal, listen to your body. Again, honor your cues. Eat what feels right or sounds good in that moment. And that way you can come to the table at your holiday celebration not feeling ravenous, ready to enjoy the meal rather than eating just to fill that hunger to the point where you don't recognize when you're satisfied and instead don't stop eating until you're stuffed, which of course takes the joy out of the celebration and also does not promote health. Thinking about these cues is a way to ensure that you make the most of your holiday eating and also continue to honor your body. If there are times though where you do feel like you've overindulged or made choices that didn't fully honor those body cues, the best thing that you can do for yourself at that moment is to forgive and move on rather than fixate it, which can lead to more stress and frankly, more choices that are unhealthy for your body and for your overall well-being. Tune back in, listen in the next moment, and pay attention to when you're hungry and what you're hungry for, and that will enhance the healthfulness and the happiness in your holiday celebrations. I'm also going to suggest that you consider setting boundaries around comments made at your holiday dinner table that relate to food, eating, or weight. You have the right to make your own choices around food and eating, and you have the right to do so without interference or feedback from those who are joining you in your celebration. In particular, if you are tuning in and listening to those body cues, you know, and certainly no one else at your dinner table will, when you're hungry, what you're hungry for, and when you're satisfied. So stop eating when you feel ready to do so. Keep eating multiple servings of some of your favorite foods if that's what feels right and what will nourish your body in the moment. And make those choices without guilt, explanation, or apology. While the holiday season is a time of joy, it's also, for many of us, a time of heightened emotions, including stress, anxiety, and sometimes loneliness. Unfortunately, food is often used as a coping mechanism when difficult emotions arise, whether by eating more or less than your body really needs to be nourished. It's not a healthy practice. And there are so many positive strategies that we can turn to instead of beating up our bodies through inappropriate eating choices. So I encourage you to consider how you might want to handle any difficult emotions that could arise during the holiday season. For instance, engaging in physical activity, taking up opportunities for meditation or reflection, and finding strategies to connect with the people you care about most in this world, whether that is virtual, an old-fashioned phone conversation, or with safety, an in-person gathering. Tap into what brings you joy over the holiday season. And of course, if you need more extensive support, utilize your resources, talk to someone who will understand. But no matter what you do, practice self-care this holiday season as a way to promote health and well-being. Finally, during this season of Thanksgiving and new beginnings, I'm going to challenge all of you to a particular form of the practice of gratitude, and that is to find reasons to appreciate your body. Unfortunately, for many of us, we tend to find fault when we think about our bodies. But the truth is, our bodies do so much for us every day. They've gotten us where we are today and have certainly gotten us through a very challenging year. We're almost through the end of it. take a moment this holiday season to think about how your body serves you well and why you appreciate the body that you're in. That will only lead to more respect when it comes to how you nurture and nourish your body, and will lead to greater well-being in the holiday season. For those who might be interested in learning more about intuitive eating, I have provided a link that you might want to look into about the 10 principles of intuitive eating, or you're welcome to contact me directly. I'd be more than happy to talk to you further about this or other healthy holiday strategies. And most importantly, I wish you a warm and wonderful holiday season.